Chapter 16, The Aftermath. Hopefully you're all having a great day. The first thing you're aware of is a throbbing headache. But you push through it and let your eyes flutter open. Flinching at the bright afternoon light groggily, you turn your head and take in your surroundings. I'm in my room? Parker! Your mom springs up from the chair where she has been keeping vigil at your bedside, rushing forward to grab your hand. Oh, honey, you're finally awake. Do you need anything? Some water, another pillow? Ibuprofen. Mom? I can get another blanket if you're too cold, or maybe bring in a fan if you're too hot. Mom, what's happening? The last thing you remember is the night sky light up with the ley line energy, the creator crumbling to dust before your eyes. And your body racked with terrible pain as everything went dark. Parker! Mom's voice snaps you out of your memory and your head spins as a wave of dizziness overcomes you. Sorry, I must have spaced out. I'm sure you're feeling confused. You inhaled so much smoke during that fire that you've been unconscious for days. What? It's okay, though. Dr. Junius has been stopping by to check on you, and he reassures me that you should make a full recovery. Wait. Lewin was here? In our house? Your eyes dart to the corners of the room, a cold dread seeping down your spine, but your mom gives your hand a squeeze. Dr. Junius was more than happy to come by and take care of you as a professional courtesy to me. Wait, did you say I've been out for days? You sit up, trying to wrap your head around what you're hearing, but your mom puts a hand on your shoulder, lowering your back into bed. Shh, hey, it's okay. You don't need to worry about that right now. Just keep resting. I'll go cook your breakfast. You gape after her as she bustles out of your room, and while you hear her hurrying down the stairs, the doorbell rings. You're able to make out muffled voices, soon followed by loud thumps in rapid succession coming up the stairs. Suddenly your bedroom door swings open. Parker! Libby sprints over to your bed, tackling you into the pillows with the force of the hug she gives you. Oof. Oh my god, I'm so glad you're awake. So many people who sheltered in the school died when it caught fire. You're so lucky the paramedics got you out in time. Libby, what do you remember about what happened at the hospital? What happened there? I heard the principal yell's announcement telling everyone to evacuate the hospital, and so I hurried there as quickly as I could. And I sheltered there until the fire was put out, and we were given the okay to leave. Nothing else happened. The fire never got that far. And that's it? Yeah, why? Did you see something at the school? I think I saw some weird people walking around. I think at one point they were even chasing other people. Did you see anything like that? No, but that sounds really serious. Maybe you should tell the authorities. Better not. I've been out of her days now. It's probably just bad dreams. Oh, tell me about it. Mine have been so vivid since the fire. I keep having this really weird dream of you being at the hospital. Really? What was I doing there? I'm not sure. It kind of makes my head hurt to think about it too much. She brings a hand up to her head, her gaze far away and troubled. It's weird. It was so intense, like sleep paralysis intense, but I barely remember it now. Suddenly your mom walks in carrying a tray full of food, coffee, and juice. Oh, thank God, coffee. Breakfast is served. Oh, I think that's my cue to get going. Wait, you don't have to. I'm not getting in the way of mother-daughter time, especially since you just woke up. She flings an arm around you for one last hug. But I'm glad you're okay, Parker. I'll come by tomorrow, too. As Libby makes her way out, your mom carefully sets the tray down on your lap. Your mouth waters at the smell of bacon, waffles, and a steaming omelet overwhelms you. God, it feels like I haven't eaten in weeks. As your stomach lets out an ungodly rumble, your mom sits down next to you and cups your cheek with a laugh. Eat up. There's plenty more downstairs, but I've got to get to the hospital for my shift. You'll be okay without me? As long as there's a lot more of this downstairs, I'll be fine. Your mom pulls you into a tight hug, which you eagerly return before she's off. In minutes you're devouring your breakfast, which you're barely even sated. Oh my god, how am I still so hungry? That's what happens when you don't eat for a few days. Mom said there's more downstairs. Alright, let's see if I still have the ability to walk after everything that's happened. You're just swinging your legs out of bed when your bedroom window slides open. Who's there? Whoa there, death by spork wasn't on the morning itinerary. Your heart leaps as Cass and Gabe climb through your window. You throw the utensils in your hands aside as you fling yourself at the two of them. Cass, Gabe, you're okay? They both let out oofs of their impact before their arms go around you in return. It's good to see you two. You're both safe. Tell me I'm still not dreaming. First my mom makes my breakfast, favorite breakfast no less, and then Libby comes over in one piece, and now there's the two of you. This all seems too good to be true. Suddenly you feel a sharp pinch on your arm. Ow, hey. See, not a dream. Yeah, seriously. With the feeling of your two favorite people in your arms, you can't help letting out an elated laugh. Can we make a pact here and now to never go through something like these past few days ever again? Fine by me. I've had enough near-death experiences for even an extended lifetime. No promises on my part. What's life without a little danger? Pulling back, you suddenly become serious. You guys need to tell me what's going on. Why do my mom and Libby not remember the creations and the vampires? Why does everyone think an actual fire spread through the town and killed people? The Covens have been doing extensive damage control, hiding any evidence pointing to the existence of vampires, and wiping the memory of every human who saw something supernatural. What? Lewin and Astoria performed some sort of ritual to tap into the ley line energy so it would alter the human's memory of what happened. How the hell does that work, and why do I still remember? The ritual's so sacred that none of us are allowed to know the details. Sucks to be a pleb sometimes, but that's not even the biggest news. Maybe because you had vampire blood in you. What else happened? It's nothing bad, it's just... Astoria and Lewin want to invite you to the Life Celebration. It's a sacred vampire ceremony that honors our dead before burning them, and it's just about to start. That sounds like a really big deal. Huge. They basically asking you to be the guest of the honor, as thanks for being a total badass and killing the creator for us. Also, you saved countless vampires, but, you know. You say they're asking me, but I'm gonna assume this is something I shouldn't say no to. It isn't. And being a guest of honor to any vampire ritual means you're gonna have to have a special role to play. We don't know what it is yet, but you're gonna wanna look the part, you know, to make sure you show proper respect during this momentous occasion. Rolling her eyes, she pulls out a box from behind her back, but a cat-like grin spreads over her face as she hands it to you. Me and Eldar may have picked up a special ceremonial outfit for you. No biggie. We went for something we figured would pass both Astoria and Lewin's standards. I hope you like it. Your eyes widen as you take out the outfit of the box, running your hand across the layers of rich fabric. Diamond choice. Wow, this is very much an old-timey, wimey-like outfit. Looks good, though. I like it. Buy this item. You don the outfit, then grin as you twirl, the skirt of the dress moving with you. You run your fingers against the high collar. I feel like I've just stepped out of a Victorian vampire novel. Exactly the look I was going for. Please, all you said was, it needs to be red and black. And I was right, wasn't I? Isn't it kind of like pink and black? Is this one of those things where it's like the blue dress versus the gold dress? I'm just saying. I see pink. Come on, we shouldn't leave Astoria and Lewin waiting. As you pass through the town, you're surprised to find the atmosphere calm. Everything relatively normal. It's almost like nothing happened. But your relief is cut short when you pass by a procession of mourners donned in all black leaving a funeral. I can't believe she's gone. If she'd listened to the warnings and come to the hospital, the school wasn't a safe zone for a reason. I know, dear, but we can't think of what-ifs. We just have to accept what happened. You watch sadly as they shuffle past you, lost in their grief. They think their loved ones died in a fire. That's the way it has to be. Well, I wish it wasn't the case. This is the part of the price that has to be paid to keep the existence of vampires a secret. It's better in the long run if people don't know. And it's not like knowing the truth is gonna bring their family and friends back to life. In the end, they're still just as dead. Tact, Harlow. You keep moving, eventually reaching the picnic tables that separate your school from the woods. But when you look towards Crimson Beech High, your heart sinks and your mouth drops open in horror. Oh my god. Crimson Beech High, it's gone. It's as though your shock is too much for your body and you're hit with a dizzy spell. Gabriel and Cass catch your arms, steadying you. Oh no, girl. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm just surprised. In your high school's place is a field of smoldering debris, dark or gray smoke still dissipating from what used to be the science lab, the quad, the main office. The Covens had to burn it down as part of their cover story. Right. I was found in the school unconscious apart from smoke inhalation. Hard to keep it alive, that if the school's untouched. Oh my god, do I have to be the one to find a silver lining in all this? School's canceled till the buildings are rebuilt. Consider this an extended vacation. Seriously, Cass, people died. Yeah, I'm trying to give you a reason to not be all emo about it for the rest of your life. I'm with... Gabriel. Seeing the school like this, the one place I first met you two, and Libby and all of our other friends, it just hurts seeing it sacrificed, along with everything else this town lost. Gabriel wraps a comforting arm around your shoulder. Hey, don't worry. The school can be rebuilt. It will be. Whatever, come on. Let's get to the woods before Lewin throws a hissy fit. The three of you give the ruins of the school another long look before heading into the trees. Before long, you emerge into a wide clearing filled with vampires. Heat warms your skin from the funeral pyres arranged throughout the clearing where the vampires burn their dead. At first, you feel a shock of horror at the burning bodies, but then you hear something unexpected. Are they singing? Dancing, too, look. Cass points towards a nearby pyre, where you see a group of familiar faces swaying rhythmically to singing voices filling the clearing. Why do they all seem so happy? A vampire's death is different from humans. For a vampire, after a few centuries or millennia, endless life begins to feel like a shackle. Death represents freedom from immortality, so we celebrate the long lives they had and the fact that they finally got to rest. That seems so perfect. When you put it that way, it makes sense. You're celebrating a well-deserved rest. I like that idea. When I go out, I want people celebrating the life I lived, not mourning the time that was lost. That won't happen for a long time. You stand on the outskirts, watching the celebrations for a little while longer, before a voice calls out to you. Hey, you guys finally made it. Seth tosses an arm around your shoulder, pulling you into a warm embrace. Really good to have you back, Parker. Good to see you're doing alright, too. It'll take more than a nasty creator to take me on. He takes in your outfit, letting out a low, impressed whistle. Damn, somebody takes the title of guest of honor seriously. Well, I didn't want to be rude. Your tact is very much appreciated, Miss Reese. Thank you, you look very nice yourself. You're surprised by the number of vampires suddenly around you regarding your attire with nods and pleased murmurs. What a joy to see you embracing our customs already. You don't look half bad, Reese. Suddenly, a bell-like ring sounds out over the din of the crowd. Turning, you find Lewin standing in the center of the clearing, Astoria by his side. Lewin taps a ceremonial-looking knife against the antique goblet he's holding, producing the ringing sound you heard before. Silence, if you'd please. As the sounds of revelry fade, Lewin's eyes find yours, and you feel a chill run down your spine. He keeps his gaze locked with your eyes as he addresses the crowd. Venidies, fellow Clements, please join me in welcoming our very special guest, Parker Reese. It is an honor to have you in attendance. A smattering of quiet applause fills the clearing, and you can feel everyone waiting for your response. It's an honor to be here. You take your eyes off Lewin, slowly looking around the clearing as you take in all the vampires around you. To be invited to a ceremony as sacred as your life of celebration, I won't forget the respect you've shown me today. Nor will we forget the respect you've shown us in attending. Your eyes return to Lewin's, and you can't puzzle out the meaning of his faint smile. Before you can try any longer, Astoria speaks up. While our life's celebration is by name a celebration of life, we must also take this time to mourn the loss of our brothers and sisters. The losses we've sustained come not only from last week's battle, but from the ambushes leading up to the attack. Those that we lost were vital parts of our family here in Crimson Beech, some of whom had been with us for hundreds of years. They gave their lives in service of Crimson Beech, fighting bravely for our home. Let us all take a moment of silence to respect their sacrifices. As the vampires all lower their heads in respect, you cast a glance in Cass's direction, and you find her looking back at you, jaw clenched. In her troubled gaze, you see the same memory that you have of Lewin sacrificing his own coven mates with the silver bomb at the hospital. Clemens, rejoice! You've been given the ultimate gift, the opportunity to die for the good of your coven. How many people here know what Lewin did and aren't saying anything? After the silence stretches long, Astoria continues. There is another sacrifice we must recognize. That of a human, without whom our losses would have been far greater. Your heart skips a beat as Astoria's gaze lands on you, missing all traces of her usual contempt. Me? There's a reason why your hunger is unsated. When you were vulnerable, you gave your blood as an act of selflessness. Most mortals would not have even considered such an action. Hi, Lily. Because of your decision, many of us standing here today, alive and well, for that you have my most sincere thanks. Listen, don't at me. My cat jumped at me. Okay, what do you want? The scene in the gym returns to you. The injured vampire strewn about, moaning in agony. I couldn't stand there and do nothing. I believe that day to be my last. I will never forget your generosity. Thank you, Parker Reese, for saving our lives. All around you, the vampires burst into cheers, the voices of the vampires you saved ringing out above all the others. But before the cheering goes on too long, Lewin clinks the goblet again, drawing everyone's attention to him once more. I would now like to extend an additional thank you to Parker. I feel a stirring of unease as his attention intensifies on you again. A creator is a threat we vampires haven't faced for a millennium. The very name brought to mind ancient legends, if it brought any recognition at all. Despite our best efforts, we were unequipped to stand against a being of such incredible power. We vampires were unequipped. Even though he smiles, his eyes narrow keenly like he's examining you. But Parker did what none of us was able to. She put an end to the creator once and for all. You earn the Coven's respect throughout the book. Yay, I guess. The crowd of vampires roars their approval, the den making your ears ring. Hell yeah, Parker the hero! The only human who's ever been as gutsy as a vampire. Your brave deeds will go down in Coven's history forevermore. Lifting a hand to silence the crowd once again, Lewin nods to you with a small encouraging smile. Parker, if you'd like to say something, please go ahead. I would, actually. I wanted to say, stopping the creator was a group effort. Yeah, it was my body that stopped him, but that wouldn't have ever been possible if it wasn't for Gabriel Aldahar and Cass Harlow. Parker? New girl, what are you doing? They lent me their strength. They believed in me, and thanks to them I had the courage to go out there and face the creator. The crowd starts to cheer, but you aren't done yet. I wouldn't have even gotten the chance to go after the crater if it wasn't for all of you fighting off the creations with everything you had. This is all of our victory, and you all deserve a round of applause. The cheers intensify, the Coven's enthusiastic cries rising up to the treetops. Astoria takes the ancient-looking goblet from Lewin, lifting it into the air. It is now time to toast the vampires that have been released from their immortal lives. As you drink, remember them fondly. She sips from the goblet before holding it out, eyes locking on you. As our guest of honor, it is your right, Parker Reese, to pass the toast to each member of the Covens. Oh, of course. Suddenly understanding your role in the ceremony, you step forward and accept the goblet from Astoria, surprised by the pungent, nearly intoxicating scent of the liquid within. This must be some really ancient wine. Aware of the eyes on you, you bring the goblet each to the vampire. One by one, they each take a small sip. Eventually, you reach Gabe, who takes his sip and then surprises you by offering you one in return. Me? As our honored guest, you're entitled to take part in the toast too. If you want to, of course. You breathe in the inviting scent of the wine sloshing inside. How does it smell so delicious? Take a small sip. Why not? Something tells me that not taking a drink would be an insult to the dead we're toasting. Erring on the side of caution, you take a tiny sip of the liquid and are taken aback by the delectable flavor that dances around your taste buds. Oh my god, I could drink this all day. You done there? Catching Cass's amused grin, you realize you're licking your lips, and with the additive taste still lingering in your mouth, you hastily hand the goblet over to her so she can take her drink. Finally, you bring the goblet back to Lewin, who tips back the final sip before smiling out at the crowd. I do believe it's time to return to the festivities. The vampires cheer one more time before drifting back off to enjoy the celebration, singing and dancing around the pyres once more. As the party resumes in full force, you, Gabe, and Cass drift towards the edges of the clearing. It's nice being here with the two of you, not having to worry about the Covens wanting me dead or some ancient, unknown force of evil. The first time ever we can just hang out. You lean against a tree trunk, tipping your head back and enjoying the distant sounds of the celebration as sunlight warms your face, when suddenly the comfortable silence is shattered when they both start speaking at the exact same time. Actually, Parker, I wanted to talk to you about... New girl, there's something I gotta say. Their heads snapped towards each other, and they both glower. Seriously, Aldahar, now? You're the one interrupting. Guys? At the sound of your voice, they both turn to you. Cass steps forward first to lay a hand possessively on your waist. I just thought we could pick up our conversation from where, before the big showdown up where we left off. Funny, I was hoping the same thing. Gabriel's dry tone turns warm as he takes your hand, bringing your attention to a soft smile. I feel like we didn't have enough time to say all that we wanted to back then. The memories of your confessions in the hallway outside the lab rushes back to you. The moments you thought you might be your last with Gabriel and Cass. You'd wondered if they'd forgotten in the events that followed, and now that you have proof that they remember, your heart rises into your throat. Gabriel, Cass. Cass takes your hand with the vulnerability you've often glimpsed making an appearance as she nervously fiddles with your fingers. I've got things I gotta say, and I'm not gonna let time keep passing me by anymore. Stunned, face warm, your gaze passes between the two of them, and you see a familiar expression of earnestness on Gabe's face as you do on Cass's. Gabriel brushes the backs of his fingers across your cheek, quickly letting the touch fall away as he holds your gaze. I have something I've wanted to tell you and give you for a long time now, and it feels like the right time. They shoot each other another competitive glare before turning it to you with twin looks of hope and affection. Sneak away from the ceremony with one or the other, or both, to hear their truest feelings for you. Diamond choice! So, we have Gabriel for 18, Cass for 18. Or both of them for 18. Or no one for free. Both of them. At least it's nice to actually just select both versus just one. You lock eyes with Cass, and then Gabriel. Your gaze flitting back and forth between the two of them. Finally, you set your doubts aside and take both of their hands. I want to hear what both of you have to say. Wait, I don't... Parker. Please. And before they can protest any further, you lead them away into the woods. By the time the sounds from the ceremony have faded, the two of them have gone silent as, well, their hands tied in yours. When you can't calm your nerves any longer, you come to a stop, letting go of their hands. Okay, that should give us enough privacy. But when you turn to face them, you find they're already glaring at each other. Your eyes drop to their hands, where each of them hold a small talisman-sized charm. You blink in surprise, stepping closer to first look at Cass's. Your gaze moves from the ruby gemstone at the heart of her charm to the cerulean one inlaid in Gabriel's. Wait, are these talismans? What do they do? They're sort of like the other talismans, but better. Okay. They shared another glower before turning their attention back to you, talking over each other to try and explain the meaning of the charms. They're gifts. Traditional vampire gifts. Oh my god, you don't have to make it sound so ancient. It's important that Parker understands the significance. You raise an eyebrow, tapping your foot against the ground. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Parker's not understanding much of anything right now. Cass runs a frustrated hand down her face, then looks at you surprisingly hesitant before she starts speaking. It's the kind of gift a vampire gives someone they're serious about. To someone they're courting. Cass slaps a hand against her forehead, and Gabriel's face flushes, and you slowly break into a smile. Courting, huh? So this is like a vampire promise ring? You admire the jewels at the center of both charms. They've definitely got bling. Please, promise rings are so immortal. That's ridiculous, and besides, these charms have the same meaning as promise rings. He shifts his attention to you, his feelings for you on full display on his face. They're a sign of devotion to the person we want to be with. Your chest squeezes as you look at the charms they're each offering you, resting on their palms. Typically you accept one promise ring, but I don't know how to choose one of yours over the other. Gabriel looks down to the ground. Cass lets out a loud sigh. Look, I know you like Golden Boy, but I think you like me too. I do. Yeah, well, it's mutual, so even though all this... She motions between the three of you. It might be weird, but I'm still giving you this charm because it means I'm serious about you. Aww. Tentatively, she takes your hand, tugging you slightly, so you turn away from Gabriel, looking only at her. After you killed the creator, I was scared out of my mind. You passed out and nothing was waking you up, and I couldn't keep thinking. Hey, you don't have to worry, I'm right here. You give her hand a squeeze, brushing your thumb against hers. I've never been that scared in my entire damn life. I didn't know what I'd do if you didn't come back to me. I can't imagine my life without you in it. Cass. You don't have to imagine it. I'm right here, right now. Give her hand a slight tug, so that the toes of her shoes bump up against yours as she steps forward. So, you get to pull me into tons more trouble and be a bad influence all you want, only to worry about what we're gonna do next, okay? A genuine smile appears on her face. You sure you want to keep me? What did your mom call it? Corrupting you? If you think I'm gonna go back to the boring life I had before you, you're out of your mind. So yes to the corruption. please. She shakes her head fondly, but her smile falls away once more. I promised myself that when you woke up, I'd give you this. She rubs her thumb over the ruby gemstone of her charm. There's a drop of my blood inside. If you wear this against your wrist, you'll always have my heartbeat against your pulse point. Wow, that is so romantic. Gabriel clears his throat from behind you. That's not all it does. Gently, Gabriel takes your hand, turning you round to face him. If you're ever in danger, all you have to do is press a drop of your blood into the gemstone. Ideally, the gemstone in my talisman, because I'll sense it right away. I don't know exactly how and where to find you and protect you. Gabriel. I've lost everyone I've ever loved. Over time, I started to think that the only way to avoid that heartbreak was to refuse to ever love anyone again. And then you came into town, with that bright smile and the most, almost lethal level of courage, and you awoke something in me that I didn't think was there anymore. The hand holding yours trembles, and he clears his throat again, voice going gruff. When you lost consciousness after killing the Creator, I was terrified. We tried so hard to wake you up, but you place your other hand on top of his, trying to lend him some comfort. I did wake up. I'm here. I know, but I can't forget that fear. I can't imagine losing you like I have everyone else. Gabriel, thank you for opening your heart again. After all you've been through, after all you've lost, the fact that you're still willing to take a chance and care for someone again, for me, means more than I can say. I don't think there's any way in the world I could not have cared for you. You squeeze his hand and smile gently up at him. I hope I prove worthy of you opening your heart again. You already have more than that. While you were unconscious, I had a lot of time to think of how I wanted to do this to express my feelings for you, and so I decided the only right way would be to embrace vampire tradition, since you're the one who helped me to no longer hate what I am. You look down at the talisman held in his palm, and then look back at Cass. The talisman she holds as well, both their hearts offered for you. You're filled with overwhelming affection for both of them, and it only makes the ache in your chest more painful. Both of you mean the world to me, and what you're offering me now. No one's given me something so meaningful before. I just can't pick between you. And I'm not gonna even say I tried. I mean, I kind of did think about it, right? But to separate them, I mean, again, for me as the person selecting these choices, is something that I've been thinking about, and it's actually very hard. It actually is. Like, your heart can love more than one person. It is possible. Every time I even think about choosing just one of you, it just hurts so much. So much I don't know if I'd be able to bear doing it. So I know you might not be happy to hear this, but you tentatively reach for both of their hands, feeling guilt as well as hope overcome you and overwhelm you. You look into the both of their eyes. Could I keep both of your heartbeats? At least for now. Tensing, they shoot each other another challenging look. Then you squeeze their hands and they turn their gazes back to you, their expression softening. I can't ask you to pick right now. Not when I can see how much it would hurt you. What matters is I can tell your feelings for me are real. They are. For both of you. Fine, we can truce for right now or whatever, but I call dibs on giving you this. Cass takes your hand, steering you back to her, raising your wrist. She trails a finger along each metal link of your bracelet, skin touching yours as she carefully considers every open space along the links. But she pauses for a second, eyes lifting back to yours, a familiar smirk pulling at her lips. Oh, and about what you said back in the laboratory hallway? She leans in to whisper in your ear, her breath making you shiver. I love you too, Parker Reese. Definitely way more than Golden Boy, so don't forget it. When she finds the spot she's looking for, she fastens the charm to your bracelet. Perfect. Your jaw drops when you feel it. Cass's heartbeat thumping against your wrist. I feel... A warm hand takes yours and Gabriel draws you gently away from Cass, his eyes shining with affection. My turn. You feel butterflies as he lifts your hand to his lips, gently pressing a kiss to the pulse point of your wrist before meeting your eyes. Just a warning, you're gonna feel how fast my heart's beating for you when I put this on you. But before I do that, I just want you to know... Oh, so tenderly, he cups your face in his hand, the love in his gaze nearly bowling you over as he brings your foreheads together to murmur softly. Parker Reese, I love you. I love you so much. Smiling adorningly at you, he links the charm to your bracelet as well. We have a nice bracelet. It's pretty, all these talismans. You gasp as the thumping you felt from Cass's charm suddenly doubles. Both of the heartbeats pulsing steadily opposite each other against your pulse point. This is incredible. In all of the overwhelming feeling of the connection you have of both of them, you take Gabriel and then Cass's hand in yours. Thank you, both of you, so much. I don't know if I can put it into words how much this and how much both of you mean to me. And I don't know how this unconventional relationship will play out. Gabriel squeezes your hand, smiling softly at you. But we don't have to worry about that what-ifs right now. Yeah, we're gonna live in the moment, or whatever. Cass squeezes your hand as well, a familiar accompanying grin pulling at her lips. As long as my moment's got you in it, then I'm good. You smile back at them, a lightness in your heart with both of their hands in yours, and you can't help but feel like this moment is the start of something promising. Yeah, just not promising enough to guarantee us a book 2, but you know, hey, what a surprise. After the life of celebration has ended, Gabriel and Cass walk you home through the woods. I appreciate the two of you making sure I got home safe. Gabriel brings your linked hands up to his lips, brushing a kiss across your knuckles. Happy to do it. Though, with your new reputation as the bruiser that took down the creator, I think you'd be fine. Cass gives your hand a little tug, bringing your attention to her as she gives your fingers a fond squeeze. But don't worry, we won't tell if you're, still scared of the dark. You better watch it, Cassie Harlow. As the three of you break into laughter, the pathway leads into a familiar clearing, and you come to a sudden stop. Wow. Talk about a blast from the past. As you look into the clearing, you remember the terror of your first night, the screams ringing through the forest, your first glimpse of Cass in her vampire form. We might have all run into each other earlier that day, but I think things really started here. Memories. Things could have gone so many ways different that night. Cass could have ripped my head off. There's no way she could have, I was there. Besides, new girl, you could have not gone wandering into the spooky, dangerous woods all alone. Yeah, well, you could have not attacked that girl. Seth could have not screwed up his hunt and left me to do damage control. I'm gonna keep going, I gotta come back for whatever you say. Really? You have feelings. Haha, what's your comeback now? God, you are so impossible. And that hasn't changed, but this has. Emotion between the three of you. And Cass quirks a brow. I mean, technically I haven't aged a second, so I don't know what you're... Harlow, can't you just let this be a moment? Come on, guys, admit it. You make a good team now. They give each other a skeptical look. Is this the part where I point out that we've only ever teamed up when you made us? That's so not true. You've always been involved, at the very least. Yeah, like if it wasn't for you, I'd still be treating Alnahar like the plague. Likewise, jerk. Oh, you finally come up with a nickname for me, golden boy? You roll your eyes so hard it almost hurts. Right, and you're telling me you aren't friends yet? Parker. I'm gonna vomit. Actually vomit on you. You won't do it. You loop your arms to both of theirs, feeling a flood of warmth at having them both close. Just this thing should be. We've had some interesting times together, haven't we? I think we're proof that a lot of what the Covens think is outdated. For one, a Clement and a Venedai can definitely be more than just grudging rivals. You're a good balance for each other. Sure, I guess. Ew. And second of all, it's impossible for a human to know the truth about vampires' existence without the world ending. You let out an elated laugh, only to notice that Cass and Gabe have fallen unusually silent beside you, their arms tense in yours. You slow to a stop when you find them trading uneasy looks with each other. Guys, what's going on? They glance at each other once again. And though it's barely perceptible, you notice Gabriel lift his eyebrows and Cass gives a tiny nod. Then they both turn their gazes on you, their faces grave. Parker, there's something important you should know. Important bad or important good? Important bad. That's the part we disagree on. You're already a vampire. I'm calling it right now. I literally called it at the beginning of this video, but, you know, your heart pounds in your chest as your mind races with possibilities. Okay, now you're really making me nervous. Please, just tell me. I have a right to know. Whatever's going on, it clearly involves me, so it's not like you won't find out eventually. You may as well just tell me now. With a resigned look on his face, Gabriel takes you by the shoulders and turns you towards him. Parker, I need you to stay calm. You can tell the words are right on the tip of his tongue, but then you hear something in the distance, a rustling sound growling near. What's... Suddenly, something bursts out of the bushes, lunging right at you in a flurry of claws and teeth. Oh, here I was hoping it was a kitty and I was gonna grab it and be like, meow! For the creator! Your creator's dead, you jackass. Parker, look out! Gabriel and Cass move to block the creation's way, but you're faster. No. With a surge of adrenaline, unlike anything you've felt before, you react on instinct, springing towards the creation with impossible speed. Punch out its heart or rip off its head. I'm gonna rip off its head. Oh look, I was right. You dig your fingers into both sides of its head, and like you're picking an apple. I'd like to say plucking instead. You wrench the creation's head off with a single twist. The creation falls to the ground, dead, and you go still. Shock courses through you as you stare down at your hands, unable to believe what you're just done. Did I? Suddenly you feel something in your mouth and slowly raise your hand to brush your fingertips against. Fangs? No way, I'm a vampire? Now you have to be really super careful with your charms, or you will end your own self. Congratulations, you've collected all available talismans, unlocking a scene. See what happened after you killed the creator. A few days earlier, in the battle's aftermath, as you lay dying, Gabriel and Cass fell to their knees beside you, frantic words that you couldn't hear passing between them. Her pulse is fading fast, it's too weak. Damn it, no, this can't be happening. As your eyes slipped shut, Cass grabs your hand, flipping it over to bare your wrist. She spared Gabriel with a fierce gaze. You know we have to do it, don't you? Gabriel hesitated for only a moment before lifting your other hand, barely feeling a pulse as he raised her wrist to his mouth. Hurry, we can't lose her. They sank their fangs in at once, frantically injecting their venom into you, trying desperately to save your rapidly dwindling life. You are now seeing events through Gabriel's eyes. A few hours later, you and Cass stand on either side of Dr. Reese as Parker lies unconscious in her bed. She'll be alright, Dr. Reese. Parker's a fighter. And when Dr. Reese speaks, her voice comes out as barely a whisper. You two were supposed to protect her. How did this happen? You and Cass share a stricken look, silently agreeing not to tell her the truth about Parker's sacrifice, or your actions to save her. Parker knew there were still people over at the school. Things were crazy in the aftermath, and she snuck away to help them without us noticing. I guess she breathed in too much of the smoke trying to get people out. You raised a real selfless kid, Dr. Reese. You glance over at Cass and see her staring down at Parker with a broken expression you don't think she's ever let the world see before. You're now seeing the events through Cass's eyes. You and Gabriel storm into the Nexus, having demanded a meeting with Historian Lewin. Listen up, assholes. After what Parker did for us, you're not gonna touch her. You're not gonna hurt her, scare her, or threaten her, or manipulate her ever again. You hear me? Lewin raises a cool eyebrow. You think I would listen to orders from a Venedi fledgling? You will, because Cass knows what you did at the hospital, and now so do I. Don't make us use it against you. Oh, and you gotta leave Parker's mom alone too, or else. Go, Cass. Get your freak on. You were never alone in your room. Gabriel and Cass taking shifts, keeping vigil over your bedside when your mom was away. Even though you couldn't hear their words, they spoke to you, begging you, sharing their fears and hopes. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna wake up and everything will be like it was, better than it was, so please come back to us. And before one could fall too deep into despair, the other always arrived to take up their post. Hey, ready to switch off? Yeah, look out for her. Always. And then, one day, as your body lay almost fully healed, you felt a brief spark of consciousness, just long enough to mutter out a few words. Your voice traveled, reaching the two people waiting for it the most. Gabriel. Cass. Parker. Parker. They rushed to your side, paths converging as they forged through the woods. You heard it too? Yeah, let's go see our girl. Oh, look at that. They only put up the affront in front of you. They reached your house in record speed, overjoyed at the sound of your voice filtering through the wind. They had to wait until your mom's car had pulled away, and those few minutes felt like an eternity. Finally. Together. Together. They leaped in tandem, bursting through your window. Not literally, they didn't break the window. Who's there? I'm pretty sure we were there for this part. I'm just saying. Whoa there, Death by Spark wasn't on my morning itinerary. Cass, Gabriel, you're both okay. It's good to see you too. You ran forward into their arms as joy burst through their hearts, and everything in the world seemed right once again. In the present, you marvel as their story unfolds in their own words, and your heart full to bursting with affection and gratitude. You two turned me to save my life. You didn't give up on me. Never will. And as I was recovering, you were there with me the whole time. And always will be. You look at Gabriel and Cass marveling at the sight of them in the moonlight. Everything so much more vivid with the heightened senses. The familiar lines of their faces are even more precious to you now that you realize you have all the time in the world to take them in. Everything is about to change for me, isn't it? It is, but we'll be with you every step of the way. You said it. We're a team now. That's never gonna change. You link your arms to both of theirs, your body feeling tight with the thrill of the future that, for the first time in a long while, it doesn't frighten you. In that case, I'm ready to face whatever's next, with both of you. From the entire Immortal Desires team, thank you for playing. We hope you enjoyed your journey alongside Gabriel and Cass. Alright, and without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you did enjoy this content, that is. If you didn't, let me know why. But hopefully you did, because I always aim to entertain, please, and make it the best viewing experience possible for you. Speaking of viewing experience, we have been doing this stuff for 6 years. Choices just had their anniversary. They just had their 6th-year anniversary. So I sit here and I'm like, oh, man, that is crazy that I've been doing this for 6 years. Pretty much every time they upload something, I cover it. Every time they cover something, I cover it. And it's sad, though, that unfortunately Choices does not recognize. And I'm going to say it. I keep echoing this for the last, I don't know, couple days now. They don't really recognize any of their creators. You know, we are the people that, at least for me, and I'm speaking from my perspective, because there's not many other people that, give voices to Choices, but also voices of critical, criticism, opinion, things like that. They just don't really acknowledge their community, and I'm not even talking about just me, I'm talking about all of you. They don't really acknowledge you guys much. And then in terms of content creators, they don't really acknowledge any of us really whatsoever either. It is kind of sad, but it is what it is, we continue to bring the books to you, especially for those of you who aren't able to, or at least for me. I hear a lot of people tell me, I enjoy listening while I'm in the car driving, or while I'm in the doctor's, or whatnot. And it's a way of, I can do other things. I can keep my mind, I can do dishes, chores, whatnot, maybe even work. And it's a way of listening and getting to know that, everything that's going on. You make me laugh, things like that. So your opinion, your acknowledgement of me is far greater and far better at this point than Choices will ever be, right? And to me, each and every one of you that continues to watch this content, that continues to enjoy it, you are what keeps me going and doing what I need to do, right? Without you, I'm just a voice talking on the void, and without you, I would have quit a long time ago. I'm gonna be honest, one way and another, I would have literally and figuratively quit. So, you are what keeps me going. So, thank you very much. So, without further ado, I did enjoy this book, though there were things like the creator and everything else that just were rushed. Let's be honest, especially after Bloodbound and the prior books in the earlier years that were far better by more talented writers and things like that just were more detailed, lasted longer, and everything else. And this is a book that could have got a book 2, in my opinion, deserves a book 2. It had, especially had the creator thing not been so rushed, I think this thing could have at least gone to also, at the very least, to at least chapter 18 to 20, giving us like an after recap and things like that. And that is the one thing I do enjoy. I'd like to throw this out there. It is the one thing that I do enjoy about other applications, such as chapters. I've noticed, though I haven't been covering it all, they've actually continued adding to books and things that I had already covered. So it's like one day I logged in and I'm like, wow, there's like 3 to 4 additional chapters on something that they once were like, hey, this is the end of the book, have a good one. They've since added to that, and that is an amazing feat and something that's very nice, especially for the communities that like this book versus like another one, right? But I digress. Thanks for watching. Love your beautiful faces. And stay tuned for the brand new VIP book today, which hopefully is good. Peace out.